All right. Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, your master of black and white mayhem, Ed X7. That's who I am, the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today, we will be talking about one of my favorite movies, even though it's not the best, but it's a lot of fun. I see it at a right age, and we'll discuss that because it's this very short movie, The Teenage Caveman. And yes, I really did think about playing Baba O'Reilly at the beginning, but probably would have got zinged by old YouTube, and I didn't want to do that. But yeah, it is only Teenage Caveman, and they're not all wasted. Some of them get wasted. But before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this movie. It does actually feature some things that look like dinosaurs in them, and there's some giant lizards and cameo appearance by another AIP staple. But we'll get into that. And now, just let me know what you think about it and watch a little longer. Again, this won't be a very long episode. So let's dive in. We start with a very portentous beginning about the beginning where nothing was there. You know, if you've read Genesis, at least parts of Genesis that don't contradict each other, that's what you see here. Light, form, plants, animals, and now man. It's only Teenage Caveman. I really promise I'm going to try not to do that, but I can't say that it's going to be successful. Get the credits with a very well, he's about, I think if my addition is correct, he's about 25 years old here. A lot of people say he's 30, but this was not unheard of. This movie was released in 58, so probably July 1st of 1958. It runs 65 minutes. The budget's $70,000. It was probably shot in 58. Robert Vaughn was born in 1932. So if my math is correct, that makes him he probably wouldn't have quite been 26. So 25 years old. I was right. How about that? So yeah, I mean, teenager or older people playing teenagers. And really, the original title of this was going to be uh, Prehistoric World, which is a better title. I mean, I saw it under Teenage Caveman. That's what I know it as. It was to capitalize on I was a teenage werewolf and I was a teenage Frankenstein and teenagers in general, because that's who could be going to see this, or at least ostensibly. So there's our producers who made the title change, Roger Corman, pardon me, and the writer did not appreciate the title change and wanted it. The writer was Bob Campbell, and neither of them are right. Campbell didn't want the title change, and I don't. I think that it is unfortunately saddled with that title. Prehistoric World would have given it a better connotation. Still, I think it's a good movie. It does try a little too hard toward the end, but I mean, so we meet our tribe. They're not we're going to call them the Cliff Tribe, or actually the Canyon Tribe. That's what we're going to call them. And they're bringing home a deer so that they can eat. And if you're wondering why I'm calling it the Canyon Tribe, guess where they shot it. So it's not terrible. I mean, it's well shot. Corman is a good director. He knew how to, he was shooting uh, with a budget in mind, but he delivered. And there's the father, the cymbal maker, played by Leslie Bradley. He was an English actor, and that's his wife there, cymbal maker's wife, June Jocelyn, and that doesn't have anything. And now we meet his son. He's called the boy. We can call him Solo, if you'd like, or Lee, if you want to go back a little further, or forward from here, a little back from Solo, the gunman Lee in The Magnificent Seven, an excellent movie. Yes, I know it's not the Magnificent, it's not the Seven Samurai, but it's an excellent movie. And there is a lizard floating about here, but you can't see it. These are beyond the river. They're not. They're forbidden to go beyond the river where things grow. Some I don't know where this came from. No one's ever told me. It's hard to tell. But they have another heart to heart, and he says you can't do it. It's against the word. The word is now a religion. And this guy, we're going to call him Dushamus. That is, he's the black bearded one, Frank Dakova. He's the heavy, and he was a character actor. Yeah, let's see what else he done. The Arrowhead. Is there television? Let's go to television. He was in The Lone Ranger. He played a lot of Native Americans, sort of Alibaba. Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke. Lots of Gunsmoke. Rin Tin Tin. Lots of westerns. Lots of westerns. Be willing to bet he was a lot of Native Americans. I'm looking to see if he was in You Know What. Perry Mason. I don't see it yet, but Laura Mercy. His last episode, he was in The Incredible Hulk, Alice on the Prairie into the 70s. So he's a good villain, but he's a jerk, and we hate him. That is one of the Firemaker, played by Robert Shane, who was also Chief Inspector Henderson, or Inspector Bill Henderson, in The Adventures of Superman. That had been filmed. I mean, he was on a break here. Put him in a beard, but he was also. No, that was Bob Clark. Never mind. He was in something else that I should know, and I don't off the top of my head. But we'll look real fast here. Scroll down a lot further. Oh, The Giant Claw, Kronos. Both movies we will review because I love both of them. War of the Satellites. He just did everything. I think he was in something where he turned into a Neanderthal. I think that was him. Monster on Campus, maybe. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, the boy Solo there is asking questions, questioning things, which is against the word. Dad says, don't do it. And this is their feckless chief, who's just is like, la, 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 la. We have a problem with them, with cavemen, that they just get bullied over by douchemas and such. They're on the hunt. They get attacked by a bear, who's played by Beach Dickerson, who was also the fair-haired boy, the man from the Burning Plains, tom-tom player, and the bear. So just they did. A lot of people did double duty, triple duty, quadruple duty in Roger Corman movies. It makes them so much fun. Wait till we get to Attack of the Crab People. There's the women doing something, and now Dushamus is asking the inspector, what happens if you break the law? You must be punished. So he's just a troublemaker because he's after the boy's woman. They're not he's not a woman yet, but the boy talks some of his friends into going across the river because they're young and they're supposed to be teenagers, and they're rebelling. He invents music, na 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 na, without Ringo Starr. And our first giant lizard appears. Stock footage from One Way NBC. This is all we're going to see of this fight because we really don't like it. They're afraid. The blonde-haired one, I think that's Beach Dickerson, getting drowned in the sand that sinks, quicksand. All right, no, but we're not going to get him. The curly-haired boy is Jonathan Hayes, right there. One of these two, I think it's this one, who would later on become very well known as Seymour in Little Shop of Horror, the original Little Shop of Horrors, which we'll get to. I say that, and we do. And he goes off without him. He stays there. He kills a squirrel to eat it. And it's the beast that kills with a touch. They don't know what this is, but he's just watching him right now. The dad there got attacked by the bear, and now he's recovered. He wants to know where the boy is. His mom says, I don't know. Dushamus causes trouble, and there he is. Fair-haired boy says he didn't come back with us. So it's like, when I'm well and 3 sons, I'll go get him. And he's fainted from seeing the beast that kills with a touch, but he's not dead. He invents the bow and arrow. Na 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 na. Even Did they invent the bow and arrow in Caveman, which was set, 9 zillion or 1 million BC, November 9th? Off he goes. And Solo is bringing back a deer, but and Dad's on his way. Solo's getting chased by wild dogs who don't look remotely dangerous. They've dubbed in growls and barks, but I mean, they attack him, but Dad saves him, kills one of the dogs off screen or off camera anyway, and they return. There's a fight between Dushamus and Solo, and really, if he'd had a gun, he'd have killed him because he's a dead eye. But he's got. Oh, there's always someone using a torch and someone using a spear in a fight with cavemen. But he's said, nobody is to talk to you for until you reach manhood or something, till he becomes a man, till his bar mitzvah. But this is Dara Marshall. Dara is a good name. How does no, because it just ends in that. You can't go Hexia Dara, can you? But I like the name Dara. She's blonde maiden. We'll call her new Loana Tala. But he plays his newly formed flute for her, and she's smitten. And suddenly something happens. Look, it's a man on a horse, but he's not supposed to exist because nobody else from this tribe exists. How they can procreate and not become, it's a small gene pool, but that's logic, and we got to throw some things out the window here, right? And there's our feckless leader, feckless. That's what I'm going to call him all from now on. He falls off. They throw rocks at him. He falls off. The horse runs away. They're not even, Dushamus wants him to kill both the man and the horse. Solo pleads, don't kill him, but Dushamus kills him. And now there's like, well, this isn't in the word. We don't know what to do here. Dushamus takes over, forces the dad out as the symbol maker. And they're like, okay. And the beast is still watching them. And Solo tells him, stay in front of me because two men such as us are going to, because he's a man now, two men such as us are going to come to a fight one day, and one will not survive. Dun, dun, dun. And blonde girl there, blonde maiden, I don't think she's a maiden. Well, she tells him to go build us a cave up there, which is what he's doing right there. They have a little cave, and he says, you've kept me here a long time. So I don't think she's a maiden anymore. She's called his woman. You'd think none of them have names. I mean, you'd think they'd have names too, but again, 66 minutes. It goes by so fast. Now, I saw this movie with my friend Dale, and on Channel 2, Sci-Fi Flicks, where they started out with an episode of The Outer Limits. In my memory, it was the episode The Moonstone, because I know Dale and I saw that together, which we liked because we loved all the Outer Limits would scare the hell out of you. So anything after The Outer Limits, you were already primed to be scared. This is not a scary movie, but we liked it. I mean, we didn't pay. I mean, we actually watched it. It was the thing. It was the thing we did. We'd hoped that they would have more dinosaurs than I did. I don't know about Dale. I can't speak for him. I could ask him. Mom smarts off to Dushamus when he says, why is he, where's the boy? And what's it against the law for us to talk? And he rallies the troops. He rallies the village against him. And off they go. And he's going out to kill the beast that kills with a touch. So he can prove that the word is wrong. There they go. Running just as fast as they can. They're not holding on to one another's hands, but close enough. They get to the river and they say, well, wait, if we break the word, then we're going to bring evil upon us as well. And Dushamus says, no, we're fine. We're obeying. We're punishing the one. He's a jerk. He's just an asshat. Uh-oh, the wild dogs are back. Dun, dun, dun. The beast shows up, but something stays Solo's hand. Dad shows up and he wants to spear him. He's like, no, there's nothing wrong. The dogs attack. Now, while you're watching this, you can see they're trying real hard not to have a fun time with the dogs. But they're just kind of rolling around with them and playing with them. No one's getting hurt. I mean, the dogs are having fun. There's some smiles here. You can't quite see it, but he's smiling. I mean, it goes by in a hurry, and you'd only know it if you watch this movie more than once. But Solo's like, no, it's not. This is not dangerous. Now, you can see here, This film was shot in a wider aspect than the DVD is presented, which is sad. I wish that it was in there. It's on a double DVD with Viking, the saga of the Viking women and their voyage to the waters of the Great Sea Serpent, which just is called on here Viking Women and the Sea Serpent. I think the saga of Viking Women is a better title overall, but I'm gonna get that in the bag here. I also have the She Creature in here as well, which we'll probably also put in the bank. I don't think that one's much longer. And I've only seen that once, twice maybe. So Duchamus drops a rock on the beast's head. Solo unerringly shoots him because he's a dead shot. We all know that. And then he takes off. He's like, this is not something to be feared. And it's a man underneath all that. And he's got a book with him. They open the book up. They see how men should greet men. All these things, they can't read. At least they didn't have them reading English. So they see this, the atomic era. And they'll say, we'll take this back. We'll leave the beast here. Because now we can go across here and get our own food. And we'll find other men and be fruitful and multiply. And he looks at him one more time. And now we get some narration from the man who's tired and he's dying. He talks about what happened, an atomic war. It created monsters. There are some dinosaur-ish things. I don't know what this is from either. It goes by in a hurry. The She Creature, speaking of, makes an appearance. This is my first time I ever saw the She Creature. And I thought it was underwater, but now that I know the story, it's such a great costume. Blaisdell is so good. I have a book about him too. And obviously we see the She Creature in a couple other movies. And, one of my favorites, the Ghost of Dragstrip Hollow. Sandra Pelkey. Where were we? And we're back to the man's talking about how he's been watching humans because he and his friends, there were like 3 of them in their party. The radiation had given them an extra long life, but unfortunately anyone who comes in contact with them dies, but the radiation's gone. And he tries to contact him, but people are afraid. The word has become a religion. Oh, and then he dies, and then the narrator says, this has happened before. If it happens again, will there be any survivors? We'll never know, but it could be the end. Now, if this was a certain movie from a certain, a movie made by Jack Harris, it would have a question mark on it after it, and that would be the end. But this is the end. Tomorrow will be a book or some kind of review, physical media review. That's what we'll call it. Physical media review Wednesday. I don't know what it is at this point in time because I'm running behind with the new kitten. And I love her and I don't blame her. So, my fellow agents, until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. Be seeing you.
The solar system holds many planets, but none like the planet which launched the attack of the monsters. A dying civilization bent on conquering the Earth for its own use. 2 boys from Earth, caught up in this fantastic adventure, find themselves as the only obstacles between the space creatures and the Earth's destruction. An army of evil creatures comes from every corner of this dying planet. While on Earth, the scientific world gathers in one final effort. The attack of the monsters. Gigantic creatures prepare for their onslaught of the Earth. And turning their evil destruction on one another, their planet trembles under the shattering fury of the most colossal battle in galactic history. Can the Earth survive? The attack of the monsters.